Welcome, everyone, finally to the show. You know, I guess YouTube just was waiting for me to come back. And they're like, you was just too relaxed. You just had too much of a good time without me and my drama. So let me just mess up your world right quick and remind you of who is really in charge here. I think that's what happened. Because I mashed the little button that says start streaming, right? And I'm staring, waiting for it to flip over, because it does that little dance, right? And then it shows a little welcome screen. I'm sitting here, honey, sitting here, sitting here, sitting here, and sitting here some more. And it never happened. And so I was like, hmm. And so I'm looking at it, right? And then while I'm looking at it, it just decides that the show was closed. So I'm looking at that too. And then I said, okay, I guess that means I have to hurry up and set up a new one. So that's what I did. See, Lady Boss, I'm getting so good at it now. I can set up the new show in 3 minutes. But unfortunately, you can only schedule them on a quarter hour. So, I had to wait till 4:15. But here we are. Welcome, everyone. Glad to see you after my week off of doing absolutely zilch, zero, nada. I had all these plans. Oh, I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to just, and things conspired to make that not happen. So I kind of took that as a clue because I have been really stressed out lately and not really sleeping much and, just really. So I thought, okay, sometimes, you get a message from the universe that the things that you think you should be doing are not really what you should be doing. I think it was one of those. So I will definitely get to that book because that's how it started. I couldn't find the stuff, right? So I spent 2 days doing that. And then I asked you guys, well, now I can't find it. What should I do? And everybody was like, forget it. Just sit on your ass, don't do nothing. And I was so exhausted. That's what I did. I can't tell you how much sleep I got this week. Um, so it's letting on you do 4.99. Well, then do 4.99. I don't know where that other penny goes. That's so ridiculous. So, of course, if you want to pay more, we're not saying no, especially if you got a question that's a little bit longer than the 40 characters. But I was trying to get, get the questions in and out for just $5 because normally, I charge a lot more. But the answers are a lot more, more in depth too. So while you guys decide what you're going to do, and that's a good thing. I did not know that, Keish. Thanks for letting me know. So, Lady Boss, that looks like the deal. So, if the minimum is has to be 4.99, but of course, y'all can pay more if you want to. Donate us, bless us with a little few extra dollars. We're not gonna say no. But I have some filler questions while you guys, decide what you're gonna do and get your courage up and all that kind of stuff. I have some filler questions I'm gonna do just to keep you entertained. So I did type in there, but let me just say it for those of you who just got here and may have missed it. The way that this is going to work is you're going to make your donation. Oh, Dia says she don't have a question, but she's just supporting me. Thank you, sweetie. That's very nice. Um, yes, you make your donation. So in the little thing, it pops up on the screen, right? So we know who you are. So then you will get a number. So in the order that you put your, make your donation, you'll be number 1, 2, 3, 5, 17, whatever. Okay. So then I will answer the questions in that order. So when you see the number, you hear the number called before you, and Lady Boss will probably type it in there too, then you know to get ready. I suggest that you have your question in a document, WordPad or something, or if you're on your phone, some little whatever you got, and have it ready so you can highlight it and cut it and paste it into the stream so you don't waste a lot of time. Okay, because people type at different speeds. You know how that is. And so we don't want to be sitting here like this while you do your little hunt and peck thing at your little 19 words a minute typing speed. Okay, so you guys do this, and then that's how it's gonna go. Yeah, Dia is so sweet. So you guys, but in the meantime, like I said, while you get your courage up, because I know it does take a lot of courage. So folks got to know your business and all this kind of stuff, but it's not that serious. So everybody. Um, I mean, if it's super personal, of course, you might want to wait on that for like the What the Fuck Tuesday or something that's more anonymous. But, just a general question about something that's going on in your life. a relationship, something with a friend, a family member, a retarded coworker, some kind of wild neighbor, your ex, I mean, your baby daddy, whatever it is, you know, you can type it in there and I will give you an answer right here on the spot. Okay. You don't have to wait until just wait your turn. All right. Okay. So Danielle is number one. So before I even start, I can answer hers because I haven't even started my filler questions yet. So let me see, what does it say? I saved your life. Wow. How to build a better relationship with yourself. Um, okay, Lady Boss, are you gonna keep track of these? Should I don't, that's the one thing we didn't talk about. Who gonna know the order? That's what I forgot about that part. Um, well, I'm sure some audience members will kind of help. They'll know. Um, so Keish, you number two. Danielle, there's a couple of videos that I've done. One recently about shoot, I forgot the title of it. My mind, I'm not used to working now. I'm used to sitting on my ass. Uh, you got it, okay? Because I was like, oh shit, that's the one part I forgot about this whole thing. Um, when you're trying to build a relationship with yourself, I think, now this is just my opinion, the most important part of that is to figure out A, what it is that you want. Okay. Number two, how you have the behaviors that you've been doing and how they have been contradictory to you getting that thing that you say that you want. Okay, that's number two. And then number three is getting some very clear idea of boundaries. So I think that's one of the main things that women have. They try to please everybody else. They don't really stick to their guns. If they say no to somebody, then the next thing you know, well, okay. So then even though you feel like, well, I'm being nice, I'm pleasing this other person, in reality, you're sacrificing yourself. And you can't feel good about that because you're going to be angry at yourself for doing something that you didn't really want to do, being somewhere you didn't really want to being with somebody you didn't really want to be with. You know what I mean? And so you start to beat yourself up, and then that in turn creates more negativity and a reduced opinion of yourself. It impacts your self-esteem, it impacts your confidence. People start talking about themselves, you so stupid, you so weak, you so dumb, you can't never do nothing right, that kind of thing. You start doing that kind of self-talk, and I don't really think that you should be doing that. So to me, the number one thing is, even sit down and make a list on your computer, on your phone, whatever you want to do, of what it is that you want. And then, like I said, really trying to figure out, okay, well, this is what I say I want, but I've been doing this thing over here. Why have I been doing that? Because that thing over there is keeping me from getting this stuff over here that I say that I want. To me, that's the number one thing. That's the number one way to get a better relationship with yourself. You understand what it is that you want, what's going to make you happy, and then what your motivations are for doing something else. And I think a lot of women don't look at themselves that way. They blame it on their childhood. They blame it on, I don't know, their religion. They blame it on, they getting older and they want to make sure, they're getting desperate or something. I mean, people have all kind of justifications for why they, um, basically sabotage themselves. Yeah, but you never feel good about it in the end. Does that answer your question? That gives, that's a three-prong attack to feeling better about yourself. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. That's what I think anyway. All right, number two is Keish. What's Keisha's question? You caught me lying. Oh, Vix, hey, what's up, girl? Yeah, I don't know what time it is in London. This is earlier than I usually come on. Plus, it's a Sunday. Um, where's Keish at? Okay, Keish, you can put your question in there now. Okay. All right, good, Danielle. Okay, so Keish says, I've been married for 9 years. He provided the entire time. He confessed to cheating, got her pregnant, and more. He refused to stop and to this day doesn't fully accept his wrong. Was I wrong to divorce him? Oh, absolutely not. Let me tell you, let- you know, okay, this, Keish, just what I just told Danielle, okay, about knowing what you want for yourself and why you're doing something that's contradictory to that. Okay, now if you stayed in a situation with a man who told you he cheated, not only cheated, had bare eggplant, because that's how she got pregnant, right? Because he gave no F's about you at all and what that was going to do to you, your marriage, your possibly your health. He didn't care about none of that. He was only thinking about himself. So that was not what you wanted for a marriage, right? When you walked down that aisle and you accepted his wedding proposal, was that the dream that you had, that this was going to be the kind of marriage that you wanted? I don't think so. I don't know no woman who says, "Oh my God, I want to get married and I want to have my husband cheat on me and have an outside baby with some bee. Oh, that's my dream. I've had dread that dream since I was 5." I don't know nobody like that. So since that wasn't what you wanted, okay, he knew what you wanted, and he decided to just change up on you, do the bait and switch midstream, and have you caught up in some BS, and then you would have to suffer for that because, girl, if you live in a community property state, let me tell you how that goes. This happened to a friend of mine. She gets with this ashy bum, right? They married, they have a kid, they had a daughter. So when the daughter was about 4 or 5 years old, he come in looking stupid, holding this paper that they had sent to his office, garnishing his paycheck for child support for some broad he got pregnant, right? So, he was still working at that time. So they just garnished his wages, this and that. So then he decided he didn't want to pay it, right? So he just quit his job. Do you know here in the state of California, since this is a community property state, all income that comes into the household in that marriage is community property. They politely transferred that wage garnishment over to her paycheck. They sure did. And the second that happened, she took that paper, went down to her attorney, and filed for divorce because that was the only way that she could keep her hands, this woman, out of her money, is to be divorced. They still lived in the same house, though. Okay, that's number 3 and number 4 right there, Lady Boss. So I'm not gonna pay attention to that because otherwise I'm gonna get distracted from giving people their answers. Um, Yeah, so she had to get a divorce, and they still lived in the same house and stuff for another year or so until he had a second baby by the same broad. That's when she said, I can't do it. So, seeing how that was, see, there's no repercussions for his behavior, right? He still got her, he still got the same house, the same daughter. By then he's single, so now it's even better. He don't even have to cheat. He's single man now because he divorced. So he on over there with the other brothers, still live in the house with her and their daughter. So I'm telling you, these dudes, something wrong with them. There's something seriously wrong. So, sweetie, feel very confident that you did what you needed to do to take care of yourself. Okay? He decided to do, like I said, pull the rug out from under you and do the bait and switch routine. That wasn't what you signed on for. That's a contract violation. And in any contract court, any tort law, if you violate the contract, that nullifies the contract. Okay. Some of contracts have built-in, clauses for payment and, violation fees and cancellation fees and early termination fees and all this kind of stuff. That's called alimony. It's the same shit. Okay. So you did the right thing to take care of yourself. That was a toxic man, the marriage had turned toxic, and there was nothing there for you anymore. Nothing there for you anymore. Okay, so you, I think, did the very right thing. So feel very confident, Keish, that you were right to divorce him, and he's bogus and BS and all that other stuff. Yes, you did good, Keish. Round of applause. He didn't deserve you. How you gonna be doing somebody like that, knucklehead? All right, so I don't know. Well, who was that? That was number 2. Okay, what's number 3? Who's number 3? Whoever's number 3 is, you up. Number 3, type your question in. Tracy, I think you number 4, if I remember correctly. Seemed like I saw a couple of other things pop up there too. Who's number 3? Do you remember who number three is, Lady Boss? Anybody? Who's number three? You guys, that before you know, type your question into a cut and paste so you can just pop it in there when it's your turn. Okay, so we don't have all this dead air time. Okay, Faith is number three. Well, Faith, where's Faith's question at? Oh, Faith. I guess Faith will type her question in at some point. Yes, you did the right thing. Don't even worry about it. Don't even concern yourself. Faith says, can you drop a story about the jobs you left? Oh, that's right. I did see that question. See, I forgot that quick. Girl, my favorite one. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. I just got up and walked the fuck out. But I remember this. Okay, how old was I? I was just, just starting school. And so I probably was about 18. And I got this little summer job at this firm. I forgot what kind of firm it was anyway, downtown San Francisco, because I was home, for the summer. And it was as a receptionist and stuff. And so then I, had time where I could study on stuff that, the classes I was going to take. I had my textbooks and stuff. So I'm reading up to get, myself up to speed and get, like a jump start before classes began. And so that's why I liked the job. And I'd already had experience. I already knew some word processing and stuff. And they hadn't really, gotten very far in that kind of stuff yet at this firm. So they wanted my expertise and experience to help them, get everything set up. And that I've always been ahead of the curve on stuff. So this man had this giant ficus tree in the lobby, right, where I was sit because I was working, like I said, as a receptionist. Giant factory. My mother had one, and I know how temperamental that thing was. It would drop leaves and turn yellow and stuff whenever it wanted to, just because it didn't like the sunlight on it that day or something. The thing was a trip. I, in my house, have two plants. Everything else is artificial because I am the plant killer. Okay. So, me knowing this about myself, I can grow stuff outside, but not inside. I'm not a house plant person. And so he tells me now he wants me to start taking care of this spike. Now, this thing was huge. So, knowing her price, the plants was worth hundreds of dollars. Okay. And I told him, no, I wasn't going to do that. And he's like, yes, you are. And I said, no, I'm not, because I wasn't hired to be a gardener. With my little sassy 18-year-old ass. And he told me his face turned every kind of red you could imagine. He was like German or something, Russian. I mean, some kind of, European dude like that. And he was not used to women talking back to him, especially no black ones. And I was the only black person at this firm. And he tells me that I'm fired. And so I just stood up and got like right by his face. I said, good, I don't care. But give me my check and it better not bounce. That's what I told him, with my neck moving and all kind of stuff. So the woman who's the office manager, her name was Carolyn. I'll never forget, the sweetest little lady. But she was writing my check out, and her hands were shaking. As she was trying to figure. She said nobody's ever talked back to him before. We're all scared of the stuff. I'm like, psh, whatever. And so I snatch my check. I get all my shit, throw my stuff in a plastic tote bag. And I go downstairs, and those are the days when they still had payphones. So you know how old, how many years ago that was. And I went to the corner payphone, and I called my daddy, and I told him what happened. He's like, by then as soon as I heard his voice, I start crying. And he's like, well, did they hurt you? Did did he touch you? I mean, what happened? Because he ready to come down there and shoot folks. I said, no, nothing like that happened. Just words. He hurt my feelings. My daddy said, good. So all my tears dried up. They're like, shoot. I'm like, what? Good. I just lost my job, blah, blah, blah. I just gonna work the summer and I need the money, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's like, no, it's good that you got this experience and you got it so young, because now you know what it feels like to be fired. And nobody can ever hold that fear over your head again. And That was the best lesson ever. Because he says you have another job next week, and I didn't even have. It's okay, say that happened like on a Tuesday. I had another job by Friday and started the following Monday, so I wasn't even out of work for a week. And that was just a very interesting life lesson for me. That was very interesting, and it served me well because all through my life, I ran into a bunch of different other situations where white folks went berserk, and they try to threaten you with that, and I'll be like, I don't give a shit, or I would just quit, just like you're not treating me like that, you're not talking to me like that, and just walk out the door, and they'd be like, well, you're supposed to give 2 weeks notice. There's your 2 weeks. And just like because I just didn't care. Yeah, my parents. I mean, and it's like my dad only had an eighth grade education, but the man was brilliant. He was just a very smart guy. If he would have had the education to go with his intellect, he would have been a very dangerous person. The world wasn't ready. But he gave all of us his intellectual IQ levels. My mother was no dummy either. She spoke multiple languages and stuff. So between the two of them, we I think got a very good solid foundation, very good self-esteem. We all have great levels of confidence. Our parents let us try stuff, and they had our backs. Whether we failed or succeeded. We always got. We were able to understand what we could have done differently or done better or done, made more money or something like that. There was always this kind of, supportive conversation. Even if you didn't quite hit the mark that you wanted to, you never got ribbed for it. So it really good. So I hate when I see parents doing that to their kids, making them feel like they're not good enough or they're never good enough. Anything your child does that your child puts their all into, that's fucking good enough, and you need to let them know that. Support them and encourage them, and then they'll do better next time. You start breaking them down and breaking them into bits and pieces. They're not going to want to try anything. They're going to be terrified of failure. That's not what we need in the black community. We don't need that. We need kids that's willing to go out on a limb and try stuff and be the trendsetters, the ones carving past. That's what we need. And yeah, so that's like my favorite story, but there's been others. They talk crazy. Like I said, I get up and walk out and just don't even be tripping on them people. Just leave them off my resume. And I know enough professional people that I call up and say, "Oh, I need this to put fill in this blank on my resume. I'm gonna say I worked at your company." Okay, well, what you need me to say? Send me the script. That's how you do what you do. You always gotta be able to make moves. So keep your contact list full. Okay. So that was good. Okay, so who was number 4? Oh, Tracy. Tracy Vegan, you're number 4. You are so welcome. Yeah, taking me down memory lane. But yeah, if you have a kid and your kid gets fired, tell them that. Good. Now you know how it feels. And nobody can ever threaten you with that again. Say, I don't give a fuck. Fire me. You don't have to fire me. I'll quit this bitch ass job. Okay, Tracy says, what are some tips and strategies you have for succeeding in running your own business? Hmm, that's a that's a big question. Number one is before you even start it, have a clear idea of what you're doing. A lot of people just have this vision that they want to start a business because they don't want to have a job. Let me tell you something. Having a job is easy. You can put in easily. You got, at a job you put in what, 8, 10 hours maybe if you count your commute. If you work for yourself, your ass gonna be hustling 24/7. You be booking shit in your sleep, waking up, answering the phone, just like wiping drool and sleep out your eyes and stuff to talk to people to get their money. Hustling all the time, all the time. It's like never ending. The difference is that you have to do something that you really love. Okay, that you will willingly put in that time. Don't just do it for the money. Don't just do it for the money. That's one way to do it to make sure that you're really successful because otherwise you won't really have that drive to succeed. It won't be there. You won't be that committed. Um, Number two is do not get people involved in your business unless they have that same dream. This is a mistake that I made. I had some friends. I want to start this singles business here in Oakland. We're doing promotions of singles events. This was my dream, okay? And I got them involved. These were my friends at the time, right? They wanted to do it too. So putting on all these events and stuff. And then I started finding out. See, they had a different value system than me. The thing is, we're doing singles events, we're not gonna, you don't fish in the company pond. But they start messing with the dudes who was coming to the event. See, no, I don't want that. That's tacky to me. And so then, I found that they was using a business address for some fraudulent welfare stuff. I went to the IRS and I removed my name off of that, tax ID number. I went down to City of Oakland. I removed my name off that business license. The thing I had to give up though was my business name because that was my name that I had picked. But I had to give all that up in order to get myself away from what could have been a potentially devastating situation. So Tracy's talk. This is Tracy's question. I'm answering now. So who's after Tracy's? Number five is next. I'm on number 4 right now. And yeah, that was weird. And of course, our friendship ended as well. So that's make sure if you got, they have to have your same dream. Whatever it is, that make sure that person's on your same page. I was young then and I didn't know that. So I'm sharing that with you now. They were in it for the money. I was in it because I saw a need for black women and men in the Oakland area that may not be like the club types and stuff, but still some very nice people that needed some other kinds of activities to get together. So I was putting on different kinds of things. I had like a pool party, not swimming pool, like, pool, billiards, that kind of pool. And I rented out this big room and put, had all these people there and stuff. So I did stuff like that. And it was very successful. It was cool. Um, and the other thing I would say is make sure you have a solid business plan. Really think this through. Make sure that your business is well financed because most businesses are going to fail in the first year. If you can start it, on a part-time basis while you maintain your job, that's actually the best because then that way, you kind of ease into it. And then once you get everything established, you develop a client base, you develop your marketing plan, everything's clicking, your websites up, all the stuff, then you drop your job and go full-time in your business. And then it's just a matter, it's already rolling. You can just really accelerate it. That would be my suggestions for a good start. But it's got to be something that you love to do because otherwise you're going to get sick of it real quick. I mean, like real quick. Okay. All right. So let's move on to. Oh, thank you. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Maisha? I hope that's pronouncing that correctly. We got to wait till your turn, though. That's good. Your question is there. Who's number 5? Beverly? Okay, Nicole is number 6. Well, who's number 5? Tracy Vegan was number 4. And I just finished her question. Now I'm ready for question number 5. You are welcome, sweetie. I hope that's helpful. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. But yeah, hopefully you can learn from my mistake. Don't do that. That was a hot mess. I just could see the IRS, the FBI, the state police, and everybody coming after me. I was involved, the way they're doing this fraudulent welfare shit using that business address with some fake names. It was crazy. I'm like, who does stuff like this and have me involved in that stuff? It was crazy. So yeah, I had to drop them. Is this C Solomon? Are you number? Oh, okay? This is you number 5. Okay. 35-year-old female, alone but not lonely, frequently traveling and pursuing personal interests. I've been single and happy for over 3 years. How do we respond to women and men who shame us for being single? Oh, well, we doing one question, girlfriend. That's 2 questions. Um, let me do that first one. How do we respond to people who shame us for being single? Well, there's two two things. One, actually, I have a video on the channel about that, about women 30 and over, or 35 and over, something, that are single, I don't know, something like that. Why shame women who are single? Something along those lines. I don't know. I did it last year. Um, my own thing when people say stuff like that, they try to put you down for being single. Then you ask them. This is what I always do. I say, okay, I could see where you might think that that's a point of concern or an issue of concern for me. But I would like you to tell me what it is that you think would make my life better than what it is if I wasn't single. What is it that I'm going to get that I don't already have by not being single? I turned it into an intellectual discussion. Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I have to scroll back up and get two in a minute after I answer this one. Um, that's what I do. I flip it back on them because it's like I'm not going to get in my feelings. I'm not going to be trying to defend myself. I'm not going to be trying to answer your questions and, make no kind of statements. You tell me why you said that and why you think that that's going to benefit me. And so, I mean, they might have a valid point. I don't know, depending on who it is. Like if your mother, she might know you better. She might have a point. Everybody else is just talking shit. They just want you to be in a misery pond with them. All these bras in these miserable ass relationships with these miserable ass fucks, dogging them out, cheating on them, and hurting them and stuff. And they don't want you to be all single and free and happy. That's what that is. But you're not gonna say all that. You don't say that. You don't try to get on that, on that page with them. You just say, well, that's really interesting that you should say that. But you must have a reason. What is it that you think? How is that going to benefit me and improve my life, make it better than what it is right now? Talk to me. Tell me what you think. And you sound all like you care and shit, and they just eat it up and bite and stuff. And then you say, okay, well, I'll give that some thought. Okay, so now they said what they had to say. You said what you had to say. You don't need to feel ashamed about it. They feel happy because they got it off their chest. And you completely ignore them and just walk away and do your own fucking thing and don't pay them no mind. That's how that works the best. I do that shit all the time. And they just sit there looking at you all confused because they don't really have an answer because they don't really know how it's going to improve your life. They just talking shit. They just want to try to find some way to get your goat. And you know me, I'm unruffable. You can't ruffle my feathers unless I let you. And so in a situation like that, I'm going to flip it back on you and you're going to ruffle your own feathers. Because you're not going to have no kind of sensible answer to my very sane and logical question. You're just talking shit and I don't feel like hearing it. I'm telling you, don't get in your feelings when people come at you like that. That's the main thing you got to do is maintain your mental control at all times. When you deal with people, just look at them like, well, that's interesting. That's one of my favorite words, interesting. Okay, yes, I saw that. Okay, let me scroll up and see what was her second one. Okay. Why had the quality of dateable men declined? I know so many women who are beautiful, physically fit, great careers, compassionate, serve the communities, and are single. Why has the quality of men declined? Let me just tell you this. The quality of men hasn't declined. They've always been like this. This is what really happened, though. This is what happened. See, I've given this a lot of thought. It's funny you should ask this question. The quality of men has not declined. It's like the quality, as a percentage of the male population, I think is exactly the same. What has happened, though, is that women have changed. Women have changed. Women no longer just find a husband and get married out of high school. That used to happen in the 40s and 50s, 60s. Started going to college more and stuff. That's when the free love thing happened, and the hippie era, and Vietnam War, and people were going crazy and stuff. Different stuff started. Our society started to change and kind of morph away from that. And but before that, there wasn't really that much expected of women as far as being in the workforce and owning businesses and being politicians and all that kind of stuff. I mean, really think about it. There were smatterings here and there, but not like it is now. Okay, the women have changed. Women's expectations are higher. Women are now, and I think I made a video about this, women are now the new men. Women are holding shit down. Women are running businesses. Women are black, especially black women, the most educated demographic in the United States now. Might not be making the most money because we still have to deal with sexism and the glass ceiling, and then you add racism on top of that. Well, then, but as far as having degrees and all stuff, yeah, that's us, sisters. That's us. So whereas before people, didn't go, and like if a family only had enough money to educate one or two kids, because they had to pay for schooling and books and all that, they would choose to educate one of the sons, not the daughters. But all that has changed. And when women are looking at marriage now, it's not a thing where, their father's trying to negotiate what's going to be the best kind of union to bring the family up. The fathers ain't there. So they're not doing too much of nothing. They out doing whatever they're doing. And young ladies, when they're looking for a mate now, are having to pretty much do it on their own. That is also new. A lot of them don't have any clue what they should be looking for, so they waste a lot of time with knuckleheads. When you waste time with knuckleheads, knuckleheads get the idea that that they deserve all these fine women and all this quality and stuff without having to deserve it. They want a return to how things used to be when they didn't have to do anything and they automatically got a wife. Whereas now women are like, no, now you got to earn it. Because, all the stuff you talking about being a provider and all that stuff, I do that for myself now. Like I said, our society has changed. So you got women owning property, women running businesses, women mayors, governors, senators, congresswomen, all this stuff, right? So women are traveling, women are becoming pilots, women are doing all this kind of stuff. What you call them, scientists and out in space people, astronauts, all kind of stuff. So it's not like it used to be. Women have changed. Men have stayed exactly the same, and that's their problem. So instead of them changing and advancing themselves to keep step with women, they are sitting there like little trolls under a bridge, angry and resentful that they know are being overlooked by women. Whereas before, 40, 50 years ago, they would have had a chance because women just went out of high school and married whoever. But we're not those people anymore. And they're not ready for the demands that we are putting on them to be some person of substance and quality. They ain't ready. So that's what that is, honey. So, I really don't think, I think, the percentage of men that are about something and marriageable and stuff, I don't think that's changed much. It's just that now that we have mass communication styles, we get notice of it. It's more, we can communicate it about it worldwide in seconds, whereas before, people only knew what going on in their little community. And maybe if they traveled by ship that took 3 months or whatever, they might meet some other people. But things are just so different for women. That's why there's so much violence against women. Men are enraged that women reject them and that we have the power to say no and not give them what they want. So that's what this is all about. They don't want to change and improve, whereas women are doing stuff in leaps and bounds and not looking back. Okay? That's my assessment. I don't know how right it is, but when I think about it, I haven't found anything to make me feel like I'm wrong. Let me put it that way. You know, I just haven't found anything to contradict what I'm saying. Let me say it. So I feel like my theory has merit, and I think that is very valid. And if somebody can prove me wrong, I got an idea contradicting that, I'm all ears. But I've heard talk to a lot of people, and nobody's really been able to shoot that down. Because I'm old and I know this stuff firsthand, having witnessed it growing up and watching my aunts and my grandparents and even my own parents, as I was a young girl. I got to see the change in society. I've been alive that long. So, and I was always a very, like aware child. So I wasn't like a little kid, just like, my mind was clicking from like 2 and 3 years old. So I'm putting stuff together. I'm watching people. I'm looking. I'm listening, and you start putting all that stuff together. And I don't really think men have changed that much. They was just stupid then, and they still stupid. But this is something I wanted. Let me just interject this in too, since this is really not part of your question, but I do want to say this. If you have a man and you ain't making your man do shit and be busy, you not handling him right. And I will probably have to make a video about this because men have to be handled. Okay, they have to be handled. Men need supervision. And y'all be letting them just run buck wild and talk about submitting to them and all that shit. No, 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 no. No. You making a huge mistake. Men need to be working. And even after they get off of work, you need to have a honeydew list for that motherfucker. When he walks in the door, he need to be busy busting his ass doing chores, tasks, building stuff, fixing stuff, running errands for you, doing stuff. He needs to be busy. You got to find shit for him to do. Keep his ass busy. Y'all just let them sit down and relax and just be sitting there doing nothing while you do everything. No, no, no. You're making a huge mistake. You're making a huge mistake. But I'll have to get into that in detail because I just been kind of watching people, watching how y'all do these men. You running around here looking all kind of broke down and horrible, and while they looking all fresh as a daisy and relaxed and shit, and you doing 900 things like your ass is Jamaican. That joke. Got 900 job man. That's y'all. While he just sitting there on his butt watching football. No, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, submit. Submit to this. All right, where are we? I done lost track. Okay, so that was she paid for 2 questions. I just answered both of them. I don't know where I am now. I don't know who's next. Who's next? This is working quite well. You guys are doing well. Somebody had another question. I know I saw one somewhere. Is there one, Lady Boss? Who's next? Yeah, girl Hazel, I'm telling you. Oh, you next, Nicole? Okay, there she is. My spouse of 14 years has made several terrible financial decisions. I separated our finances 4 years ago, raised my credit score, and saved up. Should I offer to help him or leave things separated? Well, first thing to understand is, are you in a community property state? I don't know where you live. If you in a community property state, let me tell you how that's gonna go. Any debts incurred during your marriage are yours too. So you may have separated your finances as far as, your day to day, but when it comes down to the law, that don't mean shit. They tap into your bank account just like it's his because y'all married. Okay? That's why it's good to just live with them. Just live in sin. Fuck marriage. But you didn't hear that from me. Um, so Nicole, that's the first thing you have to consider, okay? Now, if you live in a kind of state where your debts and finances and stuff are separate, then let him sink and drown. He made them decisions. That's on him. He's a grown ass man. But if you're in a community property state, then like I said, his debt is your debt. And so figuring out how to, get him out of that situation so that you guys as a couple can make some financial moves. But what that's going to mean is you're going to have to sit him down and you're going to have to crack the whip on him and say, look, I know you got this thing in your head that the man should be making all these decisions and stuff, but you have obviously, that's not your skill set. You good at something, just build, tell him what he is good at. You know what I mean? You're not going to slice his neck off. Say, you're good at this, 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 and this. But I'm good at this, 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 and this. So this is how this is going to work. This is what makes a strong team. Each one of us, notice I should have been a politician. Each one of us has different skills, honey. And what we're going to do in order to make our team the most powerful is we are going to utilize the skills that each one of us has to make our marriage better, to make us stronger as a couple. Are you on board? Yes, because he know his shit is all fucked up. Okay, so you're going to say, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to close any accounts that you have. We will finish paying them off and we're going to close them. And you are not going to open anything else in the future unless you get my okay. And we would open it together. Other than that, you don't open anything. You don't make any decisions about money. Okay, I will be making those. We'll talk about it. You'll have some input, but I will be making those decisions because that's my skill set. That's not yours. Okay, you can do this, this, and this over here because that's your skill set. And then he'll be like, okay. Because, see, he already got a track record that's all fucked up. So he can't argue with you and say, no, I can do it, I can do it. You can just point to the examples and say, no, you can't. This proves it, my love. You're not good at that, and you're not going to be fucking up no more. Okay, so you just take that over. Um, so that would be the steps I would take. But you got to figure out, you know your husband. I don't know the man. How you gonna break that news to him that he ain't gonna be making no money decisions from henceforth, and that's gonna be something that you gonna take over. Anything that he ain't opening up no credit, as they say. You don't get no credit nowhere. You don't even get to, you going to get like a checking account with your name on it, and I will give you money to put in there. Your paycheck is going to come to me for the joint account, and then we're going to divvy it up. We're going to each have an allowance in our own account. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do with that money, but you will not be able to mess up the household money anymore. I will be doing that part. Because we're getting older, honey. We need to start planning for retirement unless we're going to be one of them old people living in a tent in the park. You got to start thinking about that too. We got to need to have, I've been looking for somebody to talk about, saving for retirement and college and all that kind of stuff. I just cannot find anybody. But this is a very important thing. Money and marriage, I'm telling you, that's what you got to do. It's hard to convince, men who are raised a certain way that they have to turn over the reins of the strings to their wife. My grandfather didn't have no problem with it because I think he was only educated to the fourth grade or something. That man could work. He was big and strong as an ox. He could work, and he worked at this pipe company, making sewer pipes. And he would do the work of two men. So they gave him two paychecks. My grandfather, that's my mother's father, huge guy, not fat. I mean, 6 feet something, and just like a wall. He was so big and solid. And then, yeah, so he, with all them kids, they had like 10 or 12 kids or something. So he needed them two paychecks. And then my grandmother sold Avon, out the house because she stayed home with the kids. But she handled the money. And but from her money management, they were able to not only raise them 10 kids, and put food on the table. All the bills was always paid. Bought a 6 unit apartment building in San Francisco. Was on Rich Street, which is now where they tore it down later, and now it's where the Pacific Bell has a big telephone, the building down there. It's called the South of Market area. It's all Shishi and ritzy now. It used to not be that great. But that's about a 6 unit apartment building there because of my grandmother's money management skills. So they had income property. Okay, so my grandfather had enough sense to understand that wasn't his skill set. He'd come home, he'd give his paycheck to my grandmother, and she managed all the money. She would give him some money. She always packed his lunch. She bought his work clothes. He didn't really need no money. He needed cigarette money. He didn't really drink. So that's how they ran things, and it worked out very, very well for the whole family. So if a man's got an attitude about family and not thinking about his ego, then that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna acknowledge that his wife is better at it than him, and that he was smart enough to pick her, and that now him and his kids is gonna benefit because he picked a smart woman to be his wife instead of looking at it like, "Nah, I'm the man," and all that old stuff they be trying to do. Stupid. All right, so who's okay? That was Nicole. So now we on to number 7. Who's number 7? I don't know. I haven't been looking. I've been trying to stay focused on giving the answer. Who's number 7? See, your mind. See, that's what I'm saying. They need to be busy. You got to give them a honey-do list. You can't have no idle man. My grandmother used to say, "An idle mind is the devil's workshop." I know that for myself. That's why I stay so busy, except for last week. Who's number 7? Right? I just did. Ooh, I would be an awesome governor. I would be telling people no so many times. And all these people trying to get all these things where they sacrifice women and girls. That would so not fly. Fucking over kids? No, you're not doing that either. That'd be worse than Kamala Harris. You know, they mad because she was putting black men in jail and prison because they was doing stuff and then they was used to getting out. Oh no, I'd be. You think she was bad? Yeah, please. You littered 30 days. Get your butt in there in jail. All right, let me see. I'm trying to. Okay, so Nicole was number 6. Who's number 7? I'm scrolling through trying to find. Yeah, Hazel. See, Hazel got the right idea. She said, "Don't be nice to them. You can't be nice to men. As soon as you be nice to them, they act stupid. Yeah, don't let me come in the house and did you some dirty dishes in the sink, motherfucker. What? How am I supposed to cook? And there's dirty dishes in the sink. When I come with the kitchen spotless when I walk in the door. Okay, number 7 is Misha. Okay, so Misha, let me see. I'm looking down here to see if I see. Wait, maybe I should put this screen over here so I can just be looking straight at it. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then I'll put this over here. That's what we'll do. I'll switch it so that the questions are straight ahead instead of on the side like I usually have them. Okay, so, okay, I'm looking for number 7, Misha. Oops, I just screwed up something. Okay, I'm looking. I'm trying to find her. Y'all, come on now, have your questions ready so when I call you, you can pop your stuff in there. Type your question into a document so you can cut and paste it into the chat right away as soon as your number is called. We're spending too much time waiting for you to put your questions in, y'all. Come on now. Our questions at 8:07. I don't have time on mine. I don't know where that is. Okay, let me scroll up. See, my chat doesn't, I don't have times on mine, you guys. So I don't know where that is. I guess my chat's different than yours since I'm the host. I don't see any times. Anyway, Maisha, just type your question in here into the chat. That's what you guys don't type your question until you're called because I'm answering questions. I'm not looking at the chat screen. Let's see. She asked for any tips on being more classy and elegant. Okay. Uh yes. Actually, didn't I do a video about that? I helped this little girl, like she was like an experiment that I did. Um, cause she was just dressing just ridiculous and she was getting passed over. Yeah, she was being passed over. Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. You guys do not type your question in until your number is called. Make your super chat donation. You will be assigned a number. When your number is called, have your question already prepared in a document, WordPad, WordPress, whatever, Word, Microsoft Word, whatever, and then cut and paste it into the chat. You typing it like 20 minutes before I get to it because there's people ahead of you, I will not see your question. We're going to waste a whole bunch of time. So follow instructions, please. Make your donation. Get your number from Lady Boss. And when your number is called, put your question in the thing. Do not type your question in with the super chat donation. It will scroll up and I will never see it. Okay? So you got to do it this way that we ask so that this works and we keep the show moving. So now let me answer this question about being classy and elegant. One of the things that I think is so problematic for young women is that, you know, when you look at how people are dressed, like on TV and stuff like that, you don't see a lot of class and elegance. You see a lot of stuff about, you know, people just dressed in all the Spanish. They got all, you know, all this out and Everything is just, booty out, and they got all these long hooked up nails with all these designs and stuff on it. Their hair is all these different colors, all this different stuff. All of that spells, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but, all of that spells ghetto, low class behavior. When you are trying to make moves and you're going to be dealing with people from other ethnicities, other countries, other socioeconomic levels, there is a standard of dress. And that's what she's talking about, the classy and elegant. And it's not, all this all out and, everything skin tight and all that stuff. You have you can be what's called sophisticated sexy. So you might have something that's got like one shoulder out. You might have a dress that's, cut here or a little, neck, but it's got a V, deep V in the back. Not deep, so V, so deep that it shows your butt crack. I've seen sisters dressed like that. And it's like, yes, that's it, Brave Bird. Thank you. That's how you do it. Um, that's not classy either. That just looks just trashy. What you want to do is, especially like when you're going to work, you're going to work functions and stuff like that. Be very careful there. That's one thing I think a lot of young women don't get coached in this kind of stuff. You're educated, you got scholarships, you're bright. But one thing that's missing is a lot of the coaching that people give other ethnicities, white people rather, give their daughters about how to dress at these different social functions. Black people aren't used to going to, your average little black girl to get a scholarship to out the hood over to Harvard or something. She's smart as hell, but she's never been to a country club. How's she supposed to know how to dress? This is the kind of stuff, I want you guys to pay attention to this kind of stuff as you start moving in those kind of circles. Look online, and there's examples everywhere. There's that classic book, Dress for Success. It's been revised like 900 times, but it gives you like a foundational idea of the kind of things outfits that will take you any and everywhere. And you can always change, like, instead of just wearing like a regular business kind of jacket, you can put like a little short, colorful jacket on, change your heels to red or something, and change your jewelry to something bulky and fun, but you still got the same basic black dress on, and you ain't showing your ass. It shows your curves, but it's not spandex hugging your curves, and it's not, everything falling out and all this kind of stuff. Do not dress like what you see on TV. I don't know what they be doing. It's just kind of an embarrassment. You don't need your nails done all them different colors. You don't need designs on them. Hair don't need to be blue, pink, purple, and yellow. I mean, that stuff is cute when you're a college student and working at retail or McDonald's or something. But you trying to make some moves. You want to get one of them $250,000 a year salaries and stuff and make partner and stuff. You can't do that looking like that. You will offend people. You're going to be moving around with people from other cultures, other countries. They don't know. That's not how you conduct yourself. You can do whatever you want to in your own private time, but when you're trying to make some shit happen for yourself professionally, you have to, kind of play by the rules. I'm sorry, that's just the bottom line. And all this stuff I see these women be doing, they say, well, I can do this, I have a right to do this and that. Yes, you do, but you're limiting yourself. So I appreciate that you asked, and even something as simple as, these like, wearing like leggings and stuff. And I used to wear, leggings everywhere. It's like, okay, but what are you doing? You can't. That's not cute. That's not professional. You can't wear leggings all everywhere that you go, especially you got your ass out. Well, yeah, but even in IT, you have to be careful. Okay, so now you want to become director of IT. You looking like a hoochie mama. No, that's not going to happen because the director of IT has to go to meetings outside of the business and go to represent the company at conferences and go to seminars and maybe even ask to make a presentation and all kind of stuff like that. So see, if you want to stay in the position that you are till you retire, then yeah, that's fine. But if you have aspirations for greater later, then you need to learn how to dress and how to conduct yourself. And you don't be wearing all these like dusty earrings and stuff like that to work either. You don't do that. You wear like, pearls, little hoops, something like that, something that looks dignified and sophisticated and classy, like she said. Okay. Yeah, you wear non-conforming clothes in some other kind of situation, but um, yeah, a lot of it depends on your company that you work for. But like I said, I've never seen a female director of anything dress crazy like that. And you could do that, Joss, but you know what? You'll get noticed and get the greater opportunities if you don't dress like that. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what to tell y'all. People try to say that, it's that it shouldn't be like that, and now, there shouldn't be racism either. There shouldn't be men and women's bathrooms either, and yet there are. So you're not gonna go with what you want. You're gonna go with what is, okay? And what you do is you have to learn how to play the rules so the shit works in your favor. And that's all I'm telling you. Do whatever the want you fuck you want to at home on the weekends. You can just like every hoochie that there ever was, all combined at one time. But when you step out your door and you represent your company or you represent yourself, trying to, get you somewhere and get you your, get that paper, you got to play the game. Okay, sisters got the education. Now you just get your wardrobe in order and get your attitude right, and then you be, making some big moves. Yeah, around here, all them IT people make six figures, but a lot of them, that's where they gonna stay. They're never gonna advance. So that's my thing. If that's where you are and you find there, then that's great. But if you want to, they are saying you should dress for the level of the position that you want to have. Don't dress for what you are. Dress for where you're trying to go. And then the people that are above that will recognize that you fit in. Okay, they already got a little bit of struggle if you black. Okay, you already got to overcome that. I'm sorry. And if you in the all men's field, they always gonna have you also have to adjust to the fact that you're a woman. Okay, so you got two balls right there to fight. You black and you a woman. Okay, so why would you want to lower your chances of being selected and given opportunities and seen in a positive light by dressing like a fool, like you see on TV, some little hood rat? No, don't do that to yourself. Like I said, whatever you want to do on the weekend, that's on you. But don't do that at your workplace. Or you trying to, get some paper going. All right? That's all I'm saying. I don't like to tell people what to do. I'm just telling you, if you trying to do this thing over here, doing these things over here is going to keep you from getting over there. Okay? Now maybe you happy over here. If you happy over here, that's fine. Be you. But if you have aspirations to be over here or up here, then you gonna have to be able to fit in with over here and up here, and that don't mean you be doing all of this. Looking all this. No, they gonna be looking at you like, you. What kind of clown is this? She ain't no. She ain't coming nowhere with us. We go on a trip to Japan, and she looking like that? I don't think so. All right, so where was I? Okay, that was number what, 6, 7? Where am I? I don't know where I am. I'm so confused. But anyway, oh, Brave Bird is next. Okay, it's Brave Bird's time. Question number 8. It's Brave Bird up next. This is going pretty good. Yes, Jana, it is very true. That is very true. Nice slacks. I mean, you can have some little trendy clothes in there to mix it up some. There's nothing wrong with that. Please elaborate on why marriage ain't all that. I'm recently divorced and would like your advice on dating again or remarrying or not remarrying. Hmm. Well, let me just say this. Think of what it is, just like I suggested to somebody earlier. When you talk about you want to get married, why? What is it that you are getting married for? Is it, and there's several videos, oh my God, on the channel about that. Okay, well, marriage ain't all that. And why do you want to get married? And the carrot, marriage is a carrot on a stick for men to get what they want out of you. All kind of stuff. I've talked about this many, many times in many videos. But let me just say that I think, a lot of young girls are socialized to think that, you grow up, you get an education, You find a man, that's why they be all, crazy to have a quote boyfriend, and then you get married and then you have children and then you live happily ever after. That's the lie that we're fed. And then you realize when you get older and you do these things, right? Because this is on your agenda, this is what you've been trained to do. And so you make that happen. And then you realize when you get into it that you are nothing but a glorified slave. I'm a slave. I am here to serve other people. That is my purpose as a mother and wife. All these people clamoring for me to give to them and take care of them and be there for them. Who's taking care of and giving to me? And the majority of wives and mothers look around and they see that there's no one there. So they have mommy groups and stuff and they try to be there and support each other. But you have a group of exhausted, overworked, and resentful women looking at their kids and looking at their husbands and saying, you know what? Sometimes I just hate you. I just want you to dry up and blow away and get out of my face. That's what they do. Yeah, it's a totally false dream. So that's where I always want to start when young women say, I want to get married. Why? And I know that may seem like a weird question, but my thing is we should have a reason for doing everything that we do in life. And if you want to do something and you don't even know why you want to do, well, that's stupid. You need to understand why you need to do it. Why? What is it that you think that you're going to get out of being married? What do you want to personally? I think marriage is great if you're raising children. But if you don't plan to have any children, you older, or you just don't want to have kids, then you don't really need to be married. Just live with the motherfucker. And then when you get sick of them, you just pack your stuff and move out. That's what I do. I've done that before. Can I tell this story? He got on my fucking nerves. And I knew when that lease was up, I was not going to sign. We had a 6-month lease. And he kept saying, oh, you need to go by the rental office and sign the lease. They called again. I said, oh, yeah, yeah. I just haven't had time. I was looking for me an apartment because he was getting on my nerves. So I found a place. It was like a large studio kind of thing. It had like, a little separate bedroom. It was big enough for one person. Little living room, little tiny kitchen, a little bathroom. That's all I needed because I was never home anyway. I ran the streets all the time. So, but it was cute. It was enough space for me. It was on the top floor. I hate people being above my head. Third floor. Got to go up to all these damn steps. So I went and put that little deposit on the place, got the key. Went back to the house, started packing my shit. Throw the shit in the back of my car. Drive over to my new house, throw the shit in the house. So I went back there, and then by then he was there. And I'm just getting the last of my stuff because I really had that much there. And he was like, what you doing? And I said, I'm moving out. He's like, what you mean you moved out? You signed the lease. I said, no, I didn't. So I got to pay this rent all by myself. Oh, yes, you do. Well, what you doing? Why are you doing that? I said, because you made me sick. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of everything that you do. I'm sick of looking at your face. I'm sick of hearing your voice. I'm just sick of your friends. I'm sick of your mama. I'm sick of everything there is to be sick of about you. I don't want to see you anymore. And when I walk out the door, we're done. And then he was hanging on my leg and stuff. The girl, just like in the movies. It was terrible. Oh, they just made me just have no respect at all. I was trying to like leave the dude so the dude could have some kind of dignity. And he just like punked out. And I was like, I'm out. So I left and that was that. So see, that's what I say. Living with them, you can make moves. Don't let them move in your house. You move in theirs so you can move out. Of course, that's why I say token, they can throw you out, but that's why you got to have your money set aside just in case that happens. But you be married to them, you got to go through all kind of bullshit and get a divorce and separate property. No. So, like I said, unless you have grown planning to raise a family, there's really no need to be married. And if you think that you do need to be married, you need to ask yourself why. What fantasy am I trying to fulfill? Who am I trying to impress? What statement am I trying to make by saying that I'm Mrs. So and so? I met this woman, honey. She was signed. She was so happy to be married. Like you had your signature at jobs on your emails. She would put her name was Mrs. Whatever, whatever, his name. Let's just say Roger Smith, Mrs. Roger Smith, instead of saying her name on the bottom of her signature at work. Who does that? But I'm telling you, this chick was so happy she was married. She was just like a milestone for her. I thought she was crazy, but whatever. But yeah, I'll never forget that. That was many, many moons ago. I wonder if they still married. But that's my anyway. You talking about marriage? That's the answer to my question. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. And you come up with some very solid answers. Then you look at that list and ask yourself, does this make any sense? Especially in light of the way that men are about marriage today. Okay. Think about that. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you yay or nay. I don't tell people what to do. I just point out what you should think about before you make that decision. Okay. That's my role here. All right, Kimchi, you next on deck. What's your question? Kimchi. Kimchi. I had some kimchi yesterday. That stuff is good. It settles my stomach. Kimchi, where's your question? Where's Kimchi? You next. You number 9. Type your question in the chat stream. You guys remember, don't type it in there till your number's called. Because you then say, well, I already typed it. No, well, who knows where that is? That ain't helpful. Type it in when your number is called. And then, because I'm talking, I'm not looking over here. Okay. Let's keep in mind. Okay, here she is. So it's been 6 months, she says, and he hasn't said, I love you. I want to say it, but not before him. He's a very consistent guy and shows he cares with his actions, but not his words, if that makes sense. Yes, it does. I understand what you're talking about. And don't you dare open your mouth. Don't you dare. Because, women, let me just tell you, women are very much, yeah, she just typed it. Women are very much more in touch with their feelings, I think, for the most part, than men are. And we can recognize love. A lot of guys like, well, the first thing they'll tell you, well, I don't know what love is. Sometimes, you might view that as a cop out, but I think a lot of people really don't. They really don't understand what kind of sacrifice is required when you say that you love somebody. That is a responsibility that you're taking on. So he might be hesitant about saying that because he's not ready to take on that responsibility. So you just wait, just wait. Now, this is where it becomes important though. Uh, did you guys have a conversation where you're sitting, where you guys talked about, just being the two of you in a relationship, seeing where this could go? We're just a couple, it's just the two of us, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, not just assume. I mean, sat down and had that conversation where you ironed out the terms of your relationship. If you have not had that conversation, I don't care if it's 6 months or 6 years. If you haven't had that conversation, then that ain't your man. That's just somebody you fucking. And he can do the same thing he's doing with you with anybody else because you do not have that kind of relationship. You're not technically his woman. He's not technically your man. And this is a very important thing because people think, well, we act like we're a couple. That doesn't work. He must make a verbal commitment to it as well. His actions must back up those words. So you got somebody saying, I love you, but his behavior is all over the map. Or you got somebody who's doing like your dude, his baby behavior is consistent and he's cool, but he hasn't said the words. Okay, both situations are not what you bank on. Okay, so be very careful about jump to conclusions. Yeah, meeting friends, I don't mean nothing because, friends could be, you are in a relationship officially. Well, that's very unusual. Unusual then, because I'm wondering what's up with that. Because normally that is the foundation upon which they decide that they want to be, just with you. They love you. Okay. So why did you guys decide to become official Without that statement being made, I'm confused. When they realize that they love you, they don't want nobody else to be with you. This is gonna move forward. This is gonna be us. That's when those words come out. So I'm kind of feeling this is really bothering me that you're in a quote official relationship, but he has not said how he feels about you. There's something gamey about this, and I'm just not really feeling him at all right now. Mm-mm. No. Um, it's out of sync. You understand what I'm saying? It's out of order. And when you have the guy trying to nail you down, but he hasn't really given you anything to commit to, what? I mean, it's great that he's consistent and stuff, but what, dude? Come on now. You got to tell the woman something. Otherwise, he leaves you to just like assume and jump to conclusions. And see, that's a setup. That's why I'm not feeling it because it's a setup. Because he can always say, "Well, yeah, I'm nice to you, and I do this, and I, respect you, or I like you, whatever." But I never said I loved you. And what would you be able to say? You're right, you never did. But I thought. That's women's famous last words. I thought. It seemed like you led me to believe. Well, we were always this and that about so it made it feel like, yeah. Um, should you bring it up? Um, Not really, because let me tell you how that goes. You say, it's going to go one of these two ways. He's going to say, you're going to say, I wanted to know how you feel about me and stuff. And he's going to say, well, why? You're rushing me. Feelings will come naturally. We in a relationship. I'm already committed to you, this and that. Okay, so you really, that's that circuitous narc talk I talked about the other day. You used a whole bunch of words, you still don't have the answer to your question. Okay. Or he's going to say, that don't tell you, well, yeah, of course. I mean, what do you think? Okay. Well, then why didn't you say it then, motherfucker? What, I'm supposed to be a damn mind reader? Yeah, this sounds like game to me because, see, those are the kind of dudes, and they can be consistent. Like I said, they can be, consistent with three or four women at the same time. That could just be his personality trait. And so you thinking that's your man and you all committed and this and that. Well, you committed to him. They do that. That's one of the first thing they do. I want to be your man. Yeah, I want to be, this and that to you. Okay, then you go for it. You say, okay. Okay, so now you've made a commitment to him. But he has made one back. I would I'm sorry. Girl, I wouldn't have nothing to say to him. I would just be going out with other people. But that's just me. I'll be going out with some other man, and then he could just see me when he see me with his consistent, but not don't be saying shit ass. You know, I'm trying to not be too negative here because I do like the part that where he's consistent. I mean, that's nice, but that's not enough for a woman in a relationship. And a lot of y'all get caught up in this because you going by what he does. I'm telling you, you got to go by what it has to match up. What he does and what he says has to match. It has to match. He could be committed to his job. He could be committed to some other woman or two or three. We don't know. Whatever he is, he's holding back from making that verbal commitment to her. And so, like I said, they always give you this he gives himself an out because you assuming that you have all of the stuff going on with him that he never told you that you two have, and there's nothing you could say if you try to jam him up about him. You're never gonna be able to say. He's always gonna be able to say, "Well, I never told you that." Well, where'd you get that from? Well, yeah, I mean, I want to date you and stuff, but I doesn't mean that's how they do it, and then women in with their face cracked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Coco Poco. I would be dating somebody else. I wouldn't be waiting for him to say shit to me, except where were you? I was out. Or my famous line, I was where I was at. That's what I usually say. I don't be telling them nothing. Well, where you going? I'm going where I'm going. Why are you asking me that? You ain't my daddy. You know, I don't give them information. All you need to know is I wasn't with you, nigga. That's all you need to know. Okay, now, what else is there? I'm grown and so are you. Do your thing. So that's my answer to that question. Tread lightly here. 6 months is a long time. I could see if it was, 2 months. Six? No, no. Every man I've ever met who said that he was in love, they'd be in love like right off the bat, like almost damn near the first 48 hours. They in love. May not be about shit, but the feelings are there. You know, they see the woman that they want, and they just be like all over. She can't get rid of him. He all up in her face. He in love like within seconds. But then dating you 6 months, a year, 10 years, all this shit. No, nope. Don't waste your time. So you, young lady, need to immediately go start hanging out with somebody else. Go do something with yourself. All right, who's next? Who's next on the hit parade? You're welcome, Kimchi. Who's next? I don't know what number. I forgot what number that was. Oh, Joss is next, number 10. Okay. Thanks, Lady Boss. I'm glad somebody's keeping track because I'm like, I don't know. What's up, Joss? Okay, there she is. What is the future for high paid black women for finding a partner? A long term committed relationship. There are few black men that are high levels. Do women settle? No, you get you somebody who's not black. That's the easy answer. Why are you trying to limit yourself to black men? Girl, you better open your I see it. You better open your eyes. Get in where you fit in. People, you marry somebody, you don't marry somebody for oh, you can check it out later, Vix. It'll be this is recording. You don't marry somebody for the paint job. That's like buying a house for the coat of paint. You don't know what the foundation's like. Does it have termites? Is it got mold in it? Are the pipes rusty? Are these the shit, sheetrock dry rotted? I mean, are the floors buckled and uneven? The foundation cracked. I mean, yeah, it looks cute from the outside. A lot of curb appeal and stuff, little bushes and shrubs and stuff. Cute, cute. When you look at it, it's cute. Okay, then you're going to buy that house just because of this visual presentation. Then you find out all that other shit is all kinds of fucked up inside. That's not how you buy a house, nor is that how you pick a life partner. You pick your partner based on your similarities in morals, values, uh, goals, life goals, um, plans for the future, somebody who's on your same page. You can add in some hobbies and interests, like you both like to travel, you both like to backpack, you both like, I don't know, museums and arts and stuff. Some shit you both love reading. I mean, you have stuff to talk about, you have things to do together. You guys understand each other and how each other thinks. You like board games, you play those together. I mean, people have all kinds of things. They might sing together. I mean, whatever you have, there's something upon which to build a relationship that has common ground. You sitting up there talking about black men, you need to eliminate that from your repertoire because the ones who are tend to be going for white women or Asian women or something else. They're not looking at sisters. So you sitting there looking at them, you looking for somebody that ain't looking for you. You checking for somebody that ain't checking for you. That don't make no damn sense. You look for a man, and I don't care if he's green with pink polka dots. The motherfucker that's checking for you, that's who you get with. Okay? I don't know why so many black women want to stay with a black man. I don't understand that. I love the man who loves me. I don't care what color he is. You come in the door, you treat me right, and talk to me like you got some damn sense. I'ma like you. I'm not saying I'm gonna be in love with you, but I'ma like you because you know how to treat me. You know how to talk to me. And when I'm around you, I feel good. I'm having a good time with you. We be vibing. Okay. And having grown up in San Francisco, I interact well with men of all races. I mean, that's just who I am. So you see what I want you to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. That's not how you buy a house. You got to look on the inside. You got to do your checklist. And if that motherfucker matches your checklist for all the stuff that makes a good structural house, then that's the house that you get with. That's the house you buy. That's the house you move in to, and that's where you live, and that's where you make your life. You don't worry about that on the outside. Okay? That would be a mistake. That'd be a horrible, horrible mistake. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Yes, do not marry for the paint job. I know something like that's my thing is, you check for the man who's checking for you. If you all follow that, I mean, I'm not talking about no crazy stalker or stuff. I'm talking about, the guy he meets your standards. The only thing is he might not be black. Okay, you need to get over that. Okay, get over that. Stop that. Black women just limit themselves too much. But you know what? If you that kind with all this stuff going on here and them doing that, nah, you're not gonna get checked for looking like that. All right, so let's move on. Who's the next person? Abson is next, number 11. Josh, that's a second question. One question per person. I'm waiting for Absin, who is number 11. To type her little question in. Yeah, they do, Faith. They be showing up every time you turn around. It's like, didn't I just see you at such and such a place? Now you over here? It's like, oh no. Number 11, Absin. Ab SN. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but your turn. And then one more after that. Okay. We're doing good. Absent, absent. I don't know what happened to her. Well, rather than have downtime while she gets herself together, uh, let me do this one of these questions here. Wow, that one's long. I have some filler questions that Crystal sent me from a website which shall remain nameless. And this lady says, my husband's grandkids visit too much, but I don't know how to go about saying something to him. I don't see your post absent. You need to type it in there when your number's called. Um, his daughter's a single mother of two. They're both 1 and 2 years old. 1 and 2. When she first moved back to our city, the kids stayed with us during the week and would only go see their mother on the weekends because she stayed with a cousin, only had a 1 bedroom apartment. She found an apartment and got situated. Well, since then, the kids have been to our house multiple times a week, staying for days at a time. I feel intruded upon now. But I don't know if I should say anything because when my mother was ill, my husband helped me take care of her. But here's the thing. When the kids stay with us, it's not because their mother's at work. She's often just sitting at home while we have the kids. No, absent, I cannot. Type it into the chat while I answer this question. I don't think that's very fair. Sometimes I realize our mothers need a break, but it's too frequent. Okay, so this lady basically is a wuss. And it's her husband's grandkids. What would I do if this was me? What I would do when them kids came, I walk the fuck out the door. That's what I would do. Granddaddy want to be suffering there with all of with a 1 and 2 year old. Let him do that. He would be doing that by himself. Or you would tell the mother, you would call the mother since it's your house and you're the stepmama or whatever, step grandmother, and tell her that she is to bring the children over 1 day a week for 4 hours at a time, and that that's it. That you guys are not going to be babysitting her children for days at a time. She's the mother, not you. That you guys are retired. It is too much work to care for toddlers. You good, because I would tell her, oh no, bitch, come and get these raggedy ass kids. I'm not you the one laid up there and breeding like a damn bunny rabbit, having a 1 and a 2-year-old back to back. What the fuck? And you know some old people be looking at that and changing diapers and chasing around toddlers. No, bitch, come get these kids. We had enough of them when they stayed here when you didn't have a place for them. Now you do, and you just being a lazy bum. Come get these little raggedy motherfuckers before I call CPS and have them carted away. See, that's how I am. I talk crazy to people, and they don't know whether I'm gonna do it or not. But most likely I would, because I'd be like, it's just abandonment. We never told them we was gonna keep them kids for 2 or 3 days. She just come and drop them kids off here. Come pick them up and make sure that she gets parenting classes and knows how to do what she need to be doing. Me letting her do that to you. I mean, can you imagine? Mm-mm. I don't understand why people just have such a hard time, setting boundaries and stuff with other people. Yeah, 1 and a 2-year-old. That means she had them back to back. What they call them, stair steps. We got pregnant with the second one right after she had it. Oh no, 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 no. Now I call CPS with my own cousin, so I just give no fucks. I'm like, okay, yeah. She was a baby and then drop the kids off over there with some old people to be bothered with. I'm like, you better come get them. I don't want to see them till next month. Send me a picture. We'll do FaceTime. How about that? Cause she a bum. That's what she had. Probably trying to hang on to some man or something. What happened to Absin's question? Wasn't she next? You might be right, dear, dear. Yeah. I'm like, we're not doing that. I don't like that kind of lifestyle. No. Come on, Absin. You holding up the show here. Where is your question? Well, you know what? Who's after her? Let's skip her for now and she can come back later. Who's next? Who's ready? Who's ready? Put your question in. The next person who's after Absin. Yeah, that was just kind of odd. She's sitting at home and we have the kids. Mm-mm-mm. Well, some women don't feel like they need a healing time, I guess. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So who's after Absin? Who's that person? Okay. I recently met a white woman that seems very intelligent, but told me she kicked her 17-year-old daughter out of the house after a girl accused the longtime boyfriend, a black male, of molesting her. What? Okay, so I'll get back to you, Absin. Thanks, Lloyd Lula, because I never did see your question. I'll get back to that. I'm gonna do number 12 first. Um, what you have, I got it, Absent. I see. Well, somebody, Lulu put it in there. Um, what you have is a woman who is more focused on having this man around than she is protecting her daughter. And unfortunately, with the girl being 17, depending upon what state is that she's in, she might be the age where she can do that, and it's not an issue because she's age of consent and independence and all of that, because that varies from state to state. So it might not be as bad as what we think it is. Now here it's 18 in California. I don't know. And if the kid's a foster kid, now it's 21. They stay in foster care till they're 21. Um, but she, um, her daughter's gonna resent her. Is gonna resent her, and that man knows that this woman. He got that woman's nose so open, he can do anything he wants to her, and she's just gonna take it. Any woman who would throw her own um, daughter away over a man, the proof is outrageous. Well, see, yeah, see that dude now he knows that he can do anything and that woman is so stupid and desperate for a man. He gonna take her to the cleaners and ride her like a fucking horse. That's what he's gonna do to her. She's supposed to slap him in prison. That's what she's supposed to do. I hear the story so much, from young women that that's what happens when they tell their mothers. Unfortunately, I really wish the little girl, instead of just telling her mother, had told like a school official, you know, somebody who is a mandated reporter, so it would have definitely went to the police outside of her mother. It's not too late. She can still do that. The grandmother can do that too. But if everybody hushes it up and nobody goes to police over the matter and takes it outside of the mother's hands, then that little girl will get no justice at all. So now that the grandmother knows, and there's seems to be some evidence, and if the grandmother doesn't do anything, even if she's taking one to take custody, she's just as bad as the mother. See, because nobody's getting the police involved. Nobody's making moves to get that little girl justice under the law. So it's going to be interesting to see, um, what happens, what they're going to do. But that would be the move that they should make. The mother's not going to do it. That means it's the grandmother needs to do it. Just pick up the phone and call the police and tell them what happened and what the mother's response was, because they might charge her ass with something too. But maybe not. I don't know. But since she knew that the crime had been committed and she chose not to say anything to protect the man, that makes her an accessory. So, you know, I don't know. A lot of this, like I said, depends upon the state and what those laws are there. But if anything where the child is under 18 and under is considered a minor, is under protection of state law, and she's only 17, well, you just broke the law, Holmes, and you going to jail. And that's just how it is. All right. That's just how it is. So, if you met the woman, if have any contact with the girl or her mother, you can tell the little girl to report it to school officials. You can tell the grandmother to report it to the police. Either one of those, two people can take this ball and get it started. It does not have to be the mama because she's stupid, obviously. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She might be charged with an accessory, as an accessory. Um, that's just the way it is. Okay. Oh, that's just trifling, e pluribus. Yeah. Okay, so let me scroll up. Absent, what you're supposed to do is make your donation, and then wait until your number is called to type your question in. If you type your question in when you make the donation, do you know how far up in the chat that is? That's like I'd be scrolling forever. I don't even know if it goes back that far. That's why I ask people to wait to put their question in the chat until their number's called, because that's just way is I don't even know how far back your question is. You guys got to follow instructions for this to work right. All right. So saying, yeah, I typed it. I mean, that's not helping. That's not getting your question answered. Luckily, Lolly came through. Okay. She said she's 21 and wants to know how to meet men outside of Tinder. You get up and get out the house. Get up and get out the house. You're only 21 years old. And I know that everybody likes, what I call these swipey things. The swipey things, everybody's swiping left and right and all this old stuff. Stay off of those. Those ain't nothing but some booty call situations. That is, those things are all about hookups. They are not about finding a relationship. Okay, you want to meet somebody in, a neutral setting. A lot of what, like what I used to do with my singles group, is now done by a national, or I don't even, might even be worldwide organization called Meetup.com. Go on there and look at what kind of activities they do that are in your area that you are interested in. Some of them are women only, a lot of them are mixed groups, like hiking groups or football parties and stuff like that. You get together with people that have similar interests, and you just hang out. But it's not like you're on a quote date. You're just there with a group of people. So you're interacting and socializing, and at least you meet them. Now, you still have to do all your vetting and all the same stuff that you would do any other way. But I'm just saying, for me, from everything that I've heard for the last 2 years about them swipey things, I have not heard one thing good. Hundreds, if not thousands, of women talking about, the men that they met on the swipey things, and it's never been good. One of my male friends was telling me some story about some woman he met on the swipey thing, and I'm not even going to tell you how disgusting the story was. He was telling me the girl evidently, just let me just do a summary. How can I make this so that it passes? Let me think. Well, anyway, there was some heavy petting involved, and somebody had a green finger. Now, that's all I'm gonna say. And he was telling me this when we was at Starbucks. I had to get up and run around Starbucks like a just like a ghetto nigga, cause I was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me right now?" And he only has brothers, so he didn't know what was happening. I'm like, dude, that's coochie rot. I was like, it's not supposed to be like that. And so he was just like all affected. But that's how somebody he met on the swipey thing, and she was just nasty. So yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he was all excited because he was getting a hookup, and I'm like, if you take your happy ass back to there and start doing anything on there again, don't call me. I don't want to hear about it. That's just disgusting and nasty. You need to be having on like surgical gloves and shit. You be putting your real skin up against these women. I don't know you people. Yeah, Tracy. Oh my God. It was so nasty. Yeah, I don't mess around. I don't mess around with internet dating. It's like, if I don't meet a dude just in real life or through somebody introducing me or something, I'm just not interested. I don't want the drama. See, that's why I'm as old as dirt, and I don't have like wrinkles and shit on my face, because I keep my life very peaceful. I mean, yeah, I have stress. There's certain things that you just can't get away from, but I'm not gonna go out looking for it. Trying in my haste to have a relationship. I like Meetup because it's just stuff. You're doing stuff, and you're just there with people, males and females, so you're socializing. And if you happen to meet a guy, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. You still out and you still having a good time. You see what I mean? And during the summer, it's nice because I would go to these, and they have music concerts and stuff all over the Bay Area, like Wednesday night or Thursday night. Certain cities have like a weekly, concert and stuff. It'd be popping around the Bay Area in the summertime if you got the time. And you just go there, it's like all kinds of people, married people, couples, singles, they all different ages, all different races. Everybody just having a good time with the music, dancing, having their little drinks and whatnot. And it's fun. I mean, you just meet people. You don't have to think you trying to get a hookup or meet, the one and all this kind of stuff. You just interact with people and you just talk to them, laugh with them, and some of them you might exchange numbers with, and some of them you won't. But it's still a good time. Yeah. Say no to the swipey things. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, it was gross. I'm telling you. He was telling me this. I'm telling you. I got up. I jumped up from my seat, and I'm telling you, I just like went back to my roots in that moment. Forgot all about being sophisticated and educated, and I just ran around Starbucks like a fool, like going, "Oh my God!" Just putting on a show, just showing out for about I don't know 20 seconds, and then I sat back down. But he thought it was funny. I was like, "Oh my God!" I couldn't even control myself for that brief moment in time. It was horrible. Okay, so where are we? Are we done? Those are the last two. Oh, someone from Twitch. King Zaled. Uh the King Zaled, what we're doing, you gotta come on over to what you call it? YouTube. And you make your $5 donation through Super Chat. I don't know if you can do that through Twitch. I think you have to be over here. And then I will answer your question. I already answered her question. That's what I answered. Yeah, I haven't been to any of those First Friday events yet. I keep threatening to go, and then shoot, Friday comes. I'm doing these shows now, so I don't do those. Oh, we're done now. Okay, well we're good. We all good then. Yay, that was a great success. Well, we'll do this again then in a couple of weeks. I'll try to put the show up sooner this time. Lady Boss and I, we okay. I think we get how to do it now, and you guys will know in the future. Don't type your question in when you make your donation. Wait till your number's called, then put it in there so we can keep it flowing and stuff. We don't have all that downtime. But this was great. I um I liked it. I had fun. I hope you did too. And let me get this over here so I can do this the right way. We will be back. Oh yeah, Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday because we're back on our schedule now. My vacation's over. We'll be back on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice. This is where people will send in their questions. So if you have a question that you would like to have answered that's a little bit more involved than what we were doing tonight, you can email it on the form right at the top of the YouTube channel up here. There's a thing that says Get Advice. You click that little button and then it will take you to the form. Likewise, you can go down below in the show description box. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see it. Let's say submit your question, advice question, and there's the link. It'll take you to the same form. And you fill out all the blanks and send your question in for consideration for to be read on the show. All right. But I want to thank everybody who came through, asked a question, made a donation. Even if you didn't have a question, you just want to support the channel, we would appreciate that as well. And you guys go out and have a good week, for the rest of the weekend. Enjoy your little time that you got left and enjoy your Monday. I will see you on Tuesday, 6 o'clock, right here. Don't be late. Don't be late. Make sure that you set the little bell symbol thing and a reminder so that you're not too late and miss the show. It's Deb Cooper signing out. Thanks, Lady Boss Bay, for your support. See y'all Tuesday. Bye bye.